Here we go. Nephilim update.
Nephilim update. Nephilim update. Nephilim update.
And it's kind of like a Seraphim update kind of too. We'll see. This is from Live Science, mirrored on MSM.com, and the headline: Giant Dragon of Death with 30-foot wingspan, almost 33, unearthed in Argentina. Is that why the president, or no, was that?
What?
Yeah, it was Argentina, right? The president of Argentina reset the government. Oh no.
Okay, we do have some further information on that. Okay. By the way, regarding last episode, the government of Argentina resetting the government, going to Antarctica to do trust falls and team building exercises. Yeah. It is not the government of Argentina. What it is the here, I'm going to pull it up right now.
Yeah,
we actually have it
now.
We have it in our additional stories section, which gets sent out with the newsletter. So everybody who has the newsletter and all of our sources, you can go to the additional stories section. You will see it under clarity on Argentinian president resetting the government. Alberto Fernandez eyes Antarctica for May 25th celebration. More or less what it is the city of Buenos Aires. Okay. So in 1810, the city of Buenos Aires decided to form its own government, regardless of what the authorities of Spain thought about it. And it gives kind of a whole big history on that. And it is sort of connected to their historical independence from Spain and et cetera, et cetera. Oh no. My brain is broken. Anyways, the Argentinian government is planning to relaunch its administration on May 25th under the motto, People First, in light of the breakup between Alberto Fernandez and CFK. And CFK was... Oh, no. Who was CFK? Former President CFK.
Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner.
Yes.
Yeah, we mentioned her in the last episode when we were talking about
and
this.
it's all sort of surrounding this May 25th.
It's just today.
It is today, isn't it?
Yeah. So it already happened.
Yeah. Anyways, it's about this holiday, and CFK kind of like burned this holiday, and everybody hated her because of it. So anyways, there you go.
All right, there's our quasi side Antarctica.
Side Antarctica.
Let's go. Antarctica, go first.
It's a snowstorm.
Antarctica.
Ice scientists are penguins.
Antarctica, they're opening the abyss.
All right, so back to this one here. Giant dragon of death with 30-foot wingspan unearthed in Argentina. Researchers in Argentina have unearthed the largest pterosaur species ever found in South America, dubbed Dragon of Death by paleontologists.
Whoa. 2
giant flying reptiles were discovered in the Plateau Formation, an outcrop located in the province of Mendoza. And there's a picture here of this thing. I mean, it is
looks like a giant pterodactyl.
Yeah, the face is humongous. How does this body hold his face up? His beaks, man, those things are huge.
Satan.
Satanic power.
Yeah.
The 2 specimens' wingspans measured approximately 23 feet wide and 30 feet wide, respectively. Researchers confirmed that they are Asdarchids, a family of Pterosaurs that lived during the end of the Cretaceous period. Cretaceous period, approximately 146 million to 66 million years ago. That's a big window. And okay. How do we know? Did you do some carbon decay stuff or something? How do they know it was that long ago? I always question that.
So you're saying these are fossils? These aren't alive dinosaurs?
Well, have you seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah, until John Hammond gets his hands on them.
Asdarchids were known for their very large skulls. Those Nephilim skull birds. Sometimes
elongated skull. Sometimes it really does have an elongated skull too.
Sometimes larger than their bodies. as well as their hyper elongated necks, long necks, and short, robust bodies. Leonardo D. Ortiz David, lead author of a new study describing the enormous Tosaurus and coordinator general of Argentina's Laboratory of Museum of Dinosaurs in Mendoza, told Live Science in an email. The scientists identified the Tosaurus as two individuals in the species Thanatos Dracon Amaru.
Thanatos?
Doesn't Thanatos mean death? Isn't that like a Greek death thing?
I don't know.
This is a sole species in the genus, which means dragon of death in Greek.
Oh my gosh.
The species named Amaru translates as flying serpent.
Ah, it's Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl. And by the way, are there some flying serpents in the Bible?
Oh, that was a close one.
Researchers determined that the two Tosaurus died at the same time and that one was not yet fully grown, but the scientists can't say for sure if the two animals represent part of a family group. Okay, The fossils were found during an excavation for a civil construction project about 500 miles outside of Mendoza's capital city, also named Mendoza. Ortiz David and his team... There's a baseball player named David Ortiz, too. And his team were supervising the dig when they discovered fossil fragments within floodplain deposits. Mendoza, where Aconcagua, the highest mountain in the Americas, is also located. Oh, another high mountain. It's just all the patterns, man.
It's got all the Nephilim
all the
stuff
things,
in there.
Is located. It's well known among paleontologists for other important dinosaur discoveries, including that of a giant sauropod, Noto colossus, one of the largest dinosaurs in the world in 2016. The Thanatos Dracon fossil were in different states of preservation. Some of them were complete, such as both humeri, large arm bones, syncarpals, fused foot bones, and dorsal vertebrae, he said. Others were fragmentary, including the phalanges, toe bonus, ulna, radius, forearm bones, femur, upper leg bone, and pelvis. Sounds like there's
toe bonus.
Yeah, there's a whole body. Ortiz David said that the team's discovery of fossils in such good condition were surprising because pterosaur bones are fragile and fossils are usually found in tiny pieces. From the beginning, two facts caught our attention. The first was the size of the remains and their preservation in 3 dimensions, an unusual condition in this group of vertebrates. The second was the amount of remains found at the site. Since large giant Tosauruses are only known from fragmentary remains, with some exceptions, he said. The description of new specimen is always important for vertebrate paleontology as they shed light on the different groups being studied. In this particular case, 3D elements of large Tosaurus are scarce, making Thanatos Dracon an excellent case study. So, there you go. The fossils are currently housed at the Laboratory Museum of Dinosaurs at the National University of Cuya in Mendoza.
What do you mean, there you go? What is the theory here? Is this a Nephilim dino or what?
It could be, or it could be, some old flying serpents, man. I mean, maybe Lucifer was one of these guys. Maybe he was a Thanatos Dracon Amaru, and then all his wings got plucked, and he got turned into a snake or something. I don't know.
That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. No, I'm following. Yeah.
But there's also the, like you said, the reference to Quetzalcoatl, obviously, the flying serpent and the Native American, or I guess partially Native American.
The Aztec, I believe. Was it Aztec or the Maya or the Inca?
They all kind of had their own version of Quetzalcoatl, didn't they? There's only one that's officially had the Quetzalcoatl title. I can't remember which one it was. It's been a while since 2012, and everybody was talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say we were Quetzalcoatl experts back in 2012.
I know it's been a while.
Aztec.
Yes, Numbers 21. The Israelites begin to grumble about the lack of normal food and water in the wilderness as they walk along way around Edom, and Yahweh's response. He sends serpents, flying serpents, against the people. They bit the people, and many of the Israelites died. And so there's a reference there to the seraph in the Bible. There are references to sort of a flying serpent type of thing in the scriptures. And let's see, there's also the The word, I don't know the word here. It's some Hebrew word. It's a generic Hebrew term for snake or serpent. It comes from a root that means to burn. Sometimes the term is used adjectively to modify snakes, as in the phrase, which means flaming serpent or burning serpent, perhaps describing the bite or sting of the creature. So yeah, and then there's been all the connection between the seraph serpents and the scorpions, and if you do that, you get connections to the opening of the abyss and the scorpion-like creatures that come out. I mean, there's all kinds of connections, Basil.
Oh no!
To all the biblical stuff.
Does it have anything to do with monkeypox?
I'm sure it does. Well, the judgment in the Book of Revelation. Remember the people who don't believe, they're judged and they get boils on all over their body.
Indeed.
Maybe this is Bill Gates' God moment, his lowercase g God moment, where he gets to cast judgment on those who doubted with monkeypox.
The apotheosis of Billiam Gates.
Yes. 2nd Isaiah 14:29. Rejoice not, all Philistia, the Philistines, because it's the staff of him that beat you is broken. From the stock of a snake there sprout an asp, and its fruit will be a flying seraph. So there you go. There's a lot of references to this flying serpent.
Oh no.
Issue.
Oh, not again, Gons.
And by the way, the flying serpents, or I'm sorry, the scorpions that come out of the abyss, they torture people and they're allowed to sting them with their stingers. What does that sound like, Basil? They're not allowed to kill anybody, by the way. They're allowed to torture. And they're allowed to sting them with their tails.
Yeah,
kind of like a scorpion sting.
Yeah, well, that rules out Bill Gates if he's not allowed to kill anyone.
Yeah, but if he gets to torture, maybe that's even better for him.
Yeah.
Well, what you're telling me is Bill Gates is not the Antichrist.
I ain't saying nothing.